Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of Third Action.
Hooray!
We made it.
We did it.
Fingers.
Double digits.
I am Jason, your game master for this evening, and joining me today are the same three deformed goblins that were here last week. In the bottom left, which I actually got right this time, is Charlotte, playing Asher Ford.
Yay, hi.
Human Ranger. Below me, straight below, is Greshy Ironroot, Dwarven Druid, being played by Will.
Me. Yo.
Will has these dumb shades on for
I
viewers.
gotta take them off. I keep fucking seeing
Podcast people.
I've had them on for like half an hour.
Committing. Shit. This way. That way. There we go. Other side.
Almost that one.
I just shouldn't do the pointing. I'll stop pointing. On the other side, we've got Adam playing Gunn, Shough, champion of Erastil.
I've lost my headphones today, or rather my microphone today, so I'm stuck using built-ins, and I apologize for any problems the sound causes.
It sounds okay to me for now, so hopefully it's okay.
It'll be fine.
So, let's see. Last time on the Third Action, the party continued to explore the catacombs beneath Sandpoint that they had gotten into through the glassworks. They had already found and slain the Quasit, whose name I keep forgetting and getting wrong, and I'm pretty sure I said it wrong last time. But it doesn't matter, so because she's dead and she doesn't really come up that much anymore.
It turns out it was Petal the dog coming back to haunt us.
Yes.
A tiny demonoid.
Poor Petal. Didn't stand a chance.
I want to call her Illyrium, but she's actually Aurelium. That's what it is, I think. Anyway, they slayed the Quasit, who was creating these creatures called Sin Spawn, seemingly through this magical portal-like device known as a rune well. The party wasn't sure what to do with it, so they left it alone for the time being and continued to explore the catacombs. They found more Sin Spawn lurking the halls of what appeared to be an ancient jail room. Jail. That's what you call them, jails. They also found some ancient torture devices, as well as strange skeletons that had been deformed and morphed by some kind of strange mutations. They also found... Yes,
one of them was encased inside of a goblin that was still alive.
Yes, a goblin by the name of Corvus, the hero. He did not take too kindly to Longshanks entering his room that he was supposed to protect, and fought you all. Unfortunately, he died. Poor Corvus. Cry.
Wasn't a very good hero.
No, not really. But with Corvus slain and the threat eliminated, you also slayed a bunch of zombies that were just kind of hiding. Oh, not hiding, they were kind of trapped in these small pits all over the room. You continued to explore, found some stairs that lead further down into the darkness, but they appeared to be completely collapsed, and looks like they would take quite a while to deal with. You also found what appeared to be some kind of levitation chamber filled with strange magical artifacts and a dead crow.
Just a random dead crow.
Yeah.
It could have been magical.
Yeah.
Didn't seem to be, but
It wasn't.
it's hard to say.
Jason!
Why are you ruining the fun?
I thought somebody cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, Sameko did and determined that it wasn't a magic crow, sadly.
Yes.
But still, we can imagine. We can dream.
It was magical to me.
So, yes, you
Magical Disney moment.
You got some magical items from this room, as well as, yes, the dead crow and I believe a bottle of fine wine that appears to be rather recent vintage from Magnamar. city to the south of here, several miles to the south, along the coast, or
Mhm.
I guess a couple days to the south. You continued your exploration back through the only path you had not been down, which led up some flights of stairs to a small chamber with a well, where you fought a Varguil. I think that's what the pronunciation is. I feel like I looked it
Varguil.
up.
Flying head.
Vargoui.
thing.
It's got the double L thing, so I don't know if it's supposed to be the French or not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a D&D monster. Who knows? But that defeated, you continued up the stairs to find another set of stairs that spiraled up into the darkness that was also collapsed. This one was a bit easier to deal with, and you used some of the ranciers that you had dug up as kind of makeshift shovels, breaking them in the process, but freeing up a path up to the surface. At the surface, you found, you found yourself arising in Sandpoint. Just in an alley off of Junker's
Like
Way.
a block away from where we started.
Yeah, not terribly far from
Yeah, not too far away.
the glassworks and rather close to the old light. Ameko, thanked you for the fun adventure and went off to go find a guard to keep an eye on this hole that is now just here in the middle of town. While the rest of you thought about what to do next. It's sort of the middle of the day. You had some ideas of potentially going to talk to Brodert Quink about some of your findings, as well as I believe there was mention of talking to people at the church, though I don't recall what about.
Yeah. Before we split from Mako, though, I think we were going to invite her to meet us again later, because we'd probably be heading out of town next was the plan.
But we were talking first. We were going to talk to the people at the church, have them take care of that, whatever it was.
Right. I mean, I think that's waiting until tomorrow, so we have the rest of the day today to do our other things.
We did find a decent amount of junk to offload.
Mm-hmm.
And also I need a repair kit because I can't fix your shield otherwise, turns out.
Which we elected to offload off camera. So we've sold most of the unclaimed loot that we acquired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so do you guys want to go ahead and do that selling right now?
Yeah, I'll do some of that today.
Okay.
Take some to the blacksmith, some to the general store.
Yeah, you take a few items around town, hawking them for best prices that you can get. And we've already sort of talked about that off stream, so those are the prices that you got. This only takes about an hour's worth of time. Asher seems to be growing impatient. He's holding his sketch of...
Joe, my cool rubbing to our good friend.
While we're at it, I need to pick up a repair kit. And is there a specific tool set that would be useful for transferring runes about? Or is that just...
toolset for transferring runes. That's a good question. Let me do a little quick thinking. But you guys can talk in character for a moment while I do that.
Did we assume when we with our selling that we were going to be fixing up the answers first, or we just gonna?
No, I didn't put those value in anywhere.
Okay.
They're basically destroyed. I assumed you guys
then
left
we'll
them
just
kind of where they were.
That's fine. Scrap, as it were.
They're broken.
So Asher wanted to go see Brodert today,
Yes. 'Cause I have my rubbing and my map at least in the description of the rune well.
And what happened to that arm?
Oh, it's in my... Oh, it went to dust.
It disintegrated, yeah.
I forgot.
That's too bad. Was
I
there
do have
anything
arm
left? I mean, I don't know if he can do anything with dust, but might be worth giving him a chance to look at.
You can, like, bake it into a pie if you want. You could blow it into the ocean.
Pie?
It's flour. Dust.
I've heard of blood pie, but not bone pie.
It adds a bit of calcium to your diet.
Okay, so to answer your question, no, I think as long as you're a spellcaster, I would say that you're able to do rune transfers without any particular.
It's a
kit.
crafting check to do the rune transfer yourself.
Right,
Yes.
and that's why I was wondering if there were any special tools that I would need.
But I mean, it doesn't say anything about being a spellcaster.
Yeah, but there's no specific tool set listed, so I'm fine saying that if you have some other relevant tool set like a repair kit, that's fine by me.
Okay. Also, are there higher quality level tools available to me at this point?
At this point,
Right,
you guys
they're
are
level
2.
3.
Let me see. So you're just looking for the better, higher level tools.
Repair kit specifically, and then a tool kit as well, if it's available.
No, it doesn't look like Brodert or any of the other places in town seem to carry materials or tool sets of that quality. You'd probably have to
That's
go somewhere
fair.
bigger like Magnamar to find
That's
something
fair.
like that.
Not worth going to Magnamar for something like that at this point, so we'll pick up a basic repair kit and some blacksmithing tools, I suppose. Something pretty basic like the hammer, and not going to be carrying an anvil around with me, but basically things for making sure that we can keep Gun, shield, and work in order when necessary. So,
And Asher does also have the gross water bottle still.
I do, and I want more jars.
More jars.
More
are you planning to go back down for more?
Oh yes, I'm gonna get every liquid that's in that cave. Jar.
I mean, if you
yes,
insist, I
can-
just
Ven Vender's shop does have plenty of jars available for sale.
Yes.
yeah, you just have to talk to what's her name,
Oh.
Watermelons.
When you're there, she doesn't appear to be in the store. It appears to be Ven Vender himself. He's just very grumpy looking and dour the whole time.
I need several jars at least. 8 jars to
Uh, 2 jars have a price. I'll assume a copper. Unless there's some specific jar.
How big are the jars?
Like hand size, like maybe like this big, a few inches, something about as big as your
That's a
head.
big
They
jar.
come in different sizes. What size do you want?
I want a jar like this size.
Like a can size? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1
Okay.
copper.
I want.
It's just
Actually,
like
I
the
want
sort of
3.
jars available for a copper each.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 jars
3
is 3
jars.
copper.
Perfect.
Then Vendor just kind of grunts at you as you scoop up the 3 jars and place the 3 copper on the counter.
Jars.
Well, I just took a look, and it turns out magic armor is way pricier than magic weapons.
Yes.
So we'll save that for later.
Okay, so shopping. Oops, I have this at the wrong. Oh, that's right. Most of your shopping done. What would you like to do?
Suppose we'll go see Mr. Quink and see if he's got any other information for us, and
Yeah, we should probably go there all together.
I'm sure you can share what he's found.
I hope he'll know something.
It's worth a shot. I think he's the most knowledgeable man around to be asking this stuff of, so
Let's do it.
well.
Okay, so you guys make your way over to Brodert Quink's hut, basically, just outside the old light.
It's not even a house.
I mean, it's like a very small, newly constructed house. It's basically 1 room and a small bed, like a small kind of
Oh.
adjacent room for a bed.
Okay.
It's pretty small. You guys saw like pretty much the entirety of it the last time you were here. Just
Right.
room, small kitchen, small kind of bed space off to the side.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Let's
Okay.
knock.
Yeah, who would like to knock at the door?
I'll knock.
We'll let Asher do it.
Okay, Asher knocks at the door. There's a few moments pass, and you hear shuffling inside. and slow, measured footsteps making their way towards the door. Yes, yes, I'm coming. And good old man Brodert Quink shows up at the door.
Hello,
Oh,
Brodert.
you again. What was your name, child?
Asher.
Oh, Asher, yes. Ah, and you've brought your friends again. Ah, how can I
Yes,
help
we
you? You're the
found-
ones who asked about Thessalonian lore earlier the other day.
And we've discovered quite a few things to share with you.
Oh, things to share. Excellent. I love research. Come, please sit. Tell me everything.
Ooh.
We
Alright.
explored the caverns that we found under the glassworks to a certain degree. They're blocked. There's blockage preventing us from going any further for the moment.
Did you guys actually
there
mention the caverns to him before?
I believe so.
I think he knew
Okay.
we were going down because he asked.
We told him that there was something but down there that we had found, and we were wondering if it was connected to the old
I
lights.
think
I
actually
see.
we explicitly didn't tell him that they were under the glassworks, and I think I should probably still not do that.
Right, we didn't tell them where they were, but we had found some caves, and we thought they were connected to the old lights somehow.
Yeah, because
Okay.
he asked.
Under the
pictures from, like,
never mind where they are,
Oh.
but we explored them.
That's not your business, old man. We didn't want him wandering down there himself was really the concern.
Right.
His eyes just kind of narrow, and he nods along with your story as he's kind of takes a seat at the couch.
Cool.
I'm gonna produce my map, which is just the ground floor.
The
Okay,
the
map of
baby unicorn.
floor that you explored.
Baby unicorn.
It doesn't look like a baby unicorn. I'm not seeing it.
I agree. I have
Okay,
no
well-
idea where they found that, but they say so, and I'm like, okay, sure.
No,
I'm gonna
I said
draw
it.
a new map and show
I
you.
said it, and it's because the top right part was covered up,
Okay.
and I said unicorn baby rather than baby unicorn.
Unicorn baby.
Sure. Okay.
Its little
But
head.
now it looks
That's
more
the
like a
head.
brain with
Yeah,
an
now it
eye
looks like an
sticking out of it.
alien.
I'm seeing Metroid.
Yeah, I see a brain with an eyeball sticking out, and then like a robot body.
Well, that's even
In any
worse.
case,
This is very important, Jason. Don't
this is
interrupt.
not
this.
important.
We're gonna ask Broderick if he thinks.
Yeah, is this a unicorn?
Oh,
Does this look like a unicorn to you?
no, it doesn't. But I
That's something he would say.
where was this place exactly?
Under Sandpoint.
Under Sandpoint. Oh, interesting. And you believe this has some connection to Thassalon of some sort?
Yes.
Yeah, namely we found the what's it called, Runewell.
Runewell.
We found a rune well down there and some.
Ah, so
We
you
lots of
actually
markings
found a
still
rune
around.
well.
We
Sorry,
found
what
a
was-
demon that was summoning sin spawn.
That was the closet we had asked about.
Ah, yes, you did mention a closet before. Yes.
She's been slain, thankfully.
Mhm.
No more to trouble this town.
That's good. And what
Should
of
have
the
brought her
rune well?
head.
Was it still functioning?
It was.
It was still summoned in Sinspawn. Well, not when we left, but before when we got there. The closet summoned another one while we were there.
Ah, but it's good that you were able to destroy it. Who knows what evils could be summoned from such a thing?
Can you turn off a Runewell?
I was gonna say we didn't quite destroy it.
I don't know how to destroy it.
Right.
Brodert looks at you and kind of just adjusts his glasses. Oh, you weren't able to destroy it.
We were going to go to the church and see if they had any ideas on what we could do about it, but
I was a little bit wary of just whacking the magic with a sword.
Yes, that does seem a bit dangerous. But hold on a sec. I think I have someone's book on this. Just a moment, and he kind of carefully gets himself up out of the chair. His cat startles and runs off around the back of the couch, and he walks over to a shelf filled with scrolls and tomes and various books, and he starts searching for. He's like pulling out tomes, looking at the side and the cover, flipping through a few pages, closing it, putting it back, and just over and over again for like about 5 or 6 minutes while you guys are just kind of sitting there.
Is there water in a kettle on the stove?
Yes, it is not currently lit. There's like a fireplace underneath.
Can magic it lit?
I was thinking I might go and see what I can do about that. I have prestidigitation. I believe I can light a small fire. I should be able to warm the water at least, if I can't.
Yeah, so you can directly warm the water with that. At least you used to be able to.
Yep, I can warm it, the water. I can warm up to 1 pound of non-living material, and since assume the kettle's not ridiculously heavy.
No, it's pretty small. So you start warming up the water.
Mhm.
And it starts to, as the water starts to boil, there's like the little whistling of the tea kettle. Oh, sorry, the tea's ready. And he goes and walks over to the tea kettle.
Did you find the book you were looking for?
Oh, yes. 1 sec. Let me fetch the tea first, though.
I can take care of the tea. You go find the book.
Thank you.
Where are the glasses? They were up here. Okay.
Yes, the glasses are right there in the cupboard up there. He points up high.
I was like, all right. Sure. Could you give me a hand here?
Oh, you're short. I'll get them. I'll go over and
Thank you for reminding me.
I mean, isn't that also what prestidigitation is for?
Not in this one. I can't.
You could maybe knock
out.
the glass down, but that might
Right.
be safe.
Oh.
Prefer not to break everything.
Okay,
I
so
will assist with my
Asher,
I can lift it up, but I can't really like move it once I've lifted it.
Asher comes up behind you and just reaches up, grabs the glass.
What if I
and-
lifted him up? How heavy is he?
Oh,
He's pretty heavy, despite his size. He's not.
I'm not very strong either.
Yeah.
Give me an athletics check, sure.
Yay!
It's just a DC. What do we call this? DC something. I'll say it's
A
DC
20.
10. Okay, sure. Yeah,
That's not
you
bad.
managed to reach up
dear.
around his underneath his arms, just like lift him up.
It wasn't quite what I meant, sure, but all right, sure, thank you.
You can get them. You can do it.
Grab the different mugs and glasses and cups and just. You can put me down now. I'm fine. I've got them.
I'll put them down.
Okay, you place them down, and they kind of you're kind of having to protect the glasses from or mugs from falling out of your hands, and they kind of clink a bit. But as you're sort of setting up the tea, Brodert comes and sits back down with one of these large tomes that he's got. Yes, if I recall, there was something about rune wells in here. He's a foremost expert on strange occult things. Yes. It's kind of just flipping through. Runewell. Yes. He's just kind of reading to himself. Runewell, destroy. I see. It seems as if yes, runewells are. I already told you that the Thessalonians were known for their powerful sin magic, correct?
We did cover that.
Yes.
Well, each of these wells is attuned to a specific sin. It seems as if they are empowered by the lives and deaths of creatures as well as powerful emotions nearby. These emotions build up and swell as arcane energy within the rune wells. This particular researcher has found that to manifest a sin spawn, you only need a few drops of blood to fall into the pool. And doing so expend some of that arcane energy, sinful energy that's built up in the well. Apparently, if a well runs out of energy, that's usually enough for it to collapse. They're not built for overtaxing themselves.
So what you're saying is we need to go in and create a bunch of sin spawn by bleeding into this well, and if we do enough, then it'll stop working?
Yes, that's the theory anyway. This one
Unless
has
you-
been tested, but
Fill it up with more sin first.
Well, the idea is not to fill it with sin first because we want it to be
Drain it.
depleted.
Right.
yes, as long as you
Also,
can.
I mean, does the sin have to be like right there in front of the well, or could it be like in your heart and then you go and bleed? Could like you end up accidentally refilling it when you're trying to drain it? How does
No,
sin get put in the well?
usually via very powerful emotions, not the sort of everyday sadness or happiness that you and I would feel.
So just stay calm and don't sin in front of it.
Yes,
I
I suppose.
Would hope not.
In a way,
Please don't be murdering people in front of the well or
cover the
having
well up
sex or
before
whatever is causing
Other
it to
kinds of things, you know.
dealing.
Poke a badger with a spoon.
It says here, and he kind of flips back a few pages. I think, yes, it says here that death is often the most easiest way to trigger a rune well as far as empowering it. The death of a particularly sinful soul is quite useful in empowering a well.
So that could be a problem.
How so?
what?
We killed the demon right there in the room with the well.
Yeah, but the well was all crappy after.
Well, it was less. It did seem less bright when we left the room than when we entered it.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe quasits don't count since they're not of this plane.
Yeah, they're kind of naturally sinful. Like when a quasit
Right.
sins, it's just sort of doing its. You know,
It's-
that's just what they do.
So perhaps it must be creatures who are of this plane specifically and aren't inherently of that sin type.
Maybe.
Or to have embraced that sin, be it envy or greed or wrath or
Mhm.
lust or the other ones. Just like
I mean, if it's going by those that set, sure.
I believe those are the ones.
Well, perhaps there's more to it than simply death. Maybe there's a ritual involved?
There may be. That would make this a little bit easier. We wouldn't have to worry about people just dying and making it powerful. But if we can, I mean, if Asher wants to go and bleed in it a little bit and we summon a bunch of sin spawn and kill him, then it shouldn't matter, right? It wouldn't be gathering any energy at all. It'd be
We
gone.
could figure out what kind of sin charges the well by doing a bunch of different ones in there.
You know, Gunn, I like this idea.
To do that, I'll stand by. You perform a sin, and I'll
We'll just observe and watch and see what happens.
see if it works.
So somebody grab Watermelon so that'll get lost out of the way.
We can hold hands. And then
The most lustful of actions.
that is the most lustful of actions.
Handling is
Or
dangerous.
Dude.
Pathfinder.
I think that's just a mortal sin. You just get struck down for doing it at all.
We're gonna hold hands, and I'll cut my finger. I have 10 fingers, so we have 10.
10
bloods.
chances to empower and also destroy. Well, again, we're not trying to empower it further. We're just trying to figure out A, what might be causing it, and then B, also shutting it down however you do that.
Mhm.
Was there any other way besides draining it through use? Is there a way to counteract whatever? If we find out what kind of rune well it is there a way to like counter it with a not sin? There's a word for it, but
Brodert is kind of perusing the tome as you ask him this. Not that I'm aware of. It's entirely possible that with strong enough, yes, I suppose it is a magical device. With strong enough magical dispelling capabilities, I'm sure you could perhaps disable the magics. I suppose it depends on if exactly how strong it is. aka really strong dispel magic. Maybe.
I was
not
not
sure.
sure to say I don't have that, so that's going to be me.
If we bring enough soldiers, that we just like do the
Hand holding.
thing as soon as it like surround the thing with a wall of spears, and then whatever tries to climb out just dies right there. Wouldn't take very long, I'm sure. Sort of like zombies in pits.
You're correct. There's a part to me that just says that sounds awful barren, but it is much safer. We, at the very least, if we tell the church and we tell the marshal what we know now, that Mr. Quink has told us, then they can go through taking care of it, since they'll know that they need to drain it in this manner. So again, with the spears, as you said, they'd be prepared to handle, hopefully. And we could be on hand if they need an extra, bit of kill. I know Asher's probably more excited about doing it ourselves, though.
Yes, I want to do it. I've wanted to do it for so long, for literally an hour and a half.
Well, let me ask you this then, Asher. How many do you think we'd have to go through? And do you think you have the stamina to handle it?
I have a lot of blood. I'm not intelligent enough to know this might be a bad idea. I'm going to say that. That might not be true. I'm like, guys, watch this.
Watch me now.
So, I don't know, based on everything, like, she cut the tiniest amount of blood in, and that well was much less glowy after that.
Right. And I mean more that you'd have to cut some blood, or cut and drain some blood in there, and then we'd have to fight it. And then if it wasn't done, then we'd have to do some more blood,
Maybe it's
and then
our
fight what's
friend.
next.
Maybe
I wonder if the last one would be smaller than, like if it only had a half charge.
What if it might
Perhaps.
be like spindly?
I'm just thinking if we have to fight 2, then 3, then 4, then 5.
Then 99.
Yeah.
I guess if we got past 2 and there was no real improvement, we could just stop.
True. Also,
Well, this is fun. This is nice.
well, this is a nice time. A little bit of tea for us. Do you think
Brodert is currently just
we do it
lost in
ourselves?
reading the tome at this point.
That's fair. We're just sitting here
Oh.
chatting about.
I should ask because the pointed star was on the rune well, right?
Yes.
I
We
should,
have
I'm gonna
not
show
yet
that.
shown him that sign. We should
Be like,
let
do
him
you
do
Did we
that.
show him that before, or did we not?
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
You had never seen it before going into the.
I thought it was on a journal or something.
No, it was on the book of the statue lady.
The
I don't
book.
think-
That's what I was thinking of. The book.
I don't think it
We
was
haven't seen it
on
before.
Suto's journal.
That's what I was originally. I was conflating the two. That's right. So yeah, show him the star.
Yeah. Do you know what this is?
Do you think they'd pay us more if we took care of the well ourselves?
Maybe.
I don't know if they can afford to pay us.
Have they paid us?
Much
Well, they
longer.
paid us already.
So you try.
Well, maybe they have
so
some
you
fancy
show
gears.
him. You show him the 7-pointed star.
Yes.
Yes, this is almost certainly the Sahedron rune. It's
The what?
The Sahedron rune. It's the mark of the Runelords. It's one of the most honored symbols of ancient Thassalon.
It was on almost everything down there.
Did the Runelords serve Lamash too?
Not aware of such occurrences, but if our gods today existed back then I don't see why not.
I mean, they seem pretty thoroughly evil. Could there have been good ones? Maybe, but so far everything's based on sin and blood and,
All that good stuff.
Well, to tell you the truth, the theories about sin magic are that originally the Runelords practiced magic of great virtue, and that these virtues over time, as humans expanded their realm across Varizia in the day, and perhaps the entire world, they eventually became corrupted into the sins that we know now.
Like you do.
As you do.
But yes,
Virtue was the word I was looking for before.
Yes. The Sahedron rune itself was originally, I believe, intended to signify the 7 virtues, 1 point for each virtue. But those eventually became corrupted. Yes, I believe originally they were wealth, fertility, honest pride, abundance, eager striving, righteous anger, and rest. But those eventually got converted to greed, lust, pride, gluttony, envy, wrath, sloth. But if you found this rune there, it's almost certainly related to Thassalon. Most definitely.
Do the Thessalonians, I don't know how to word this, often sacrifice mutated people?
Mutated people? He just looks kind of curious at this. I suppose greed is somewhat related to the school of transmutation magic. Perhaps that's something related to that? Transmutation is the modification and altering of various substances and components. Sometimes
maybe this is a greed well. Then
did you find anything else of interest in this?
There were a number of mutated goblins, living and dead.
Were the dead ones goblins?
No, the dead skeletons were humans. They're humanoid skeletons.
Okay.
The only goblin you saw there was the hero Corvus.
Correction. There were dead mutated humans and a living mutated goblin.
If I were to assume a sin, I think I would be assuming wrath based on that statue.
Statue? What statue?
Statue seemed unrelated.
I wouldn't say that. If that was a pretty center point statue based on the layout of the dungeon as we saw it.
Charlotte, did you say something? You did.
Oh no, I was just saying she was an angry red woman.
It was a statue of a woman. She looked really, really pissed. And she had a book with this star symbol on it in one hand and a Ransur in the other.
Oh,
so
that's almost certainly a Lasnist, the Rune Lord of Wrath. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, the last Rune Lord of Wrath before.
Also, what was her name? Missed that.
A Lasnist. Alaznist. I want to say.
Missed. A Lasnist.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Wrath. And that was my assumption based on that. It would either been wrath or disgust, perhaps, but I don't think disgust is technically a sin.
That's not one of them, is it?
I'm disgusted by
well, what you're describing sounds a lot like traditional representations of a Lasnist, so yes, perhaps this was in fact a ruin of her making.
More caffeine.
Or of her people's making.
Are there drawings of the other ones? Or descriptions?
Descriptions? I'd have to look more deeply through my tomes for that.
Ooh, maybe I'll come back later.
But I can do some additional research for you if you wish.
If you don't mind.
Please.
That is why I'm here in Sandpoint, after all.
We plan to continue exploring at a further date, and we'll check back with you.
Well,
Before
thank
we
you.
go.
This is quite a boon to my research. I'll have to make sure I take notes on this encounter.
There is one more thing.
Yes?
I found this water, and it's kind of cool. Everyone else thinks it's gross, but I think it's kind of cool. And I produced my jar of delightful, shimmery, glittery, pretty water.
It is not pretty. It looks like the dankest, awfulest water.
Look at how
It's-
pretty it is.
It's black.
It's like
Disgusting.
it's like
It
absorbing
makes that
light around
goblin grow like an extra arm.
it.
I
As
think
you-
it's beautiful.
as you pull out the the gross water, the music changes, everything goes dark. There's like kind of a dim glow of red evil in the room.
Look how cool that is. I'm
Um,
gonna put it as my light, night light.
I'm sorry. I don't know what that is. I'm not an expert
Okay.
on water. I guess.
We may have better luck at the church.
Do you,
Yeah,
do you,
he examines it a bit. He's not sure what it is.
you don't do alchemical testing or anything here. I'm not sure if that's your area of expertise.
No, I've never been much of an alchemist. Perhaps there's one in town.
Ooh.
Suppose we could take a look and ask. I otherwise don't suggest touching that water. No, don't do that.
Where did you find
water.
such a thing?
It was in
Oh, in an altar to Lamashtu,
Which
where
is
it self-refills.
It was a
Self-fulfilling
black
toilets of Lamashtu.
altar.
Perhaps the church is the best place to get that examined. They might know something if it's
Thank
related to
you.
Lamashtu.
I like my toilet water. Alright, I'll put it away so everyone can stop being uncomfortable about my cool discovery.
Everyone is in the chat is saying drink, chug, 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 shots.
You know, I was close to drinking it, but then I saw the mutated man, and I know I've decided not to. He never told me the color of the water, so
He did not mention the color.
who knows?
How
Could be
about we
good
go
water.
by the church next? What,
We should probably.
what they say about it.
Killing me. Okay, yeah. So you finish up with Brodert. He ushers you. He doesn't usher you out, but he's gonna go start taking some notes on what you've shown him and told him about.
Pay your taxes.
Do
Greshy
you
says
think
as he
has
walks out
money?
the
He
door.
lives in a shack. He has no money to pay his taxes.
They don't ask for much. They ask for a reasonable tax based on your
I
income.
like how we're assuming he doesn't pay his tax, and not
Well,
that the
he's-
tax people are unreasonable.
I am. I'm assuming that the paladins of Abadar would be doing the correct thing in this case. I could be wrong. Not all paladins are good, but in this case, I'm going to make an assumption that they're doing the right thing.
I'm going to assume the opposite for fun.
That kind of assumption is not something I would take for granted.
All right, you guys are outside discussing the merits of Abadar's tax collectors.
On our way to the church.
You made one offhand comment, Jason, and this is what happened.
Hey, I love the Church of Abadar. Shout out to all of my Abadar fans in the audience.
Well, Abadarites.
Abadinians.
Abadarians?
Abadaris.
I feel like the book
Abadar.
has like the short name or whatever for them. Anyway, you make your way over to the cathedral, presumably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems reasonable. We did want to
Alright.
visit there.
Okay, you find yourself at the cathedral. It's what is today? Today is Oath Day, which is Pathfinder Thursday. And most people are working today, so it's pretty thin in here. It's just sort of mainly the acolytes kind of wandering around, doing various deeds, cleaning, There's a couple of people sitting in the pews praying, but not much else.
Okay,
do?
we should find Father Xantus to give this water to, or someone that will roll a 20 for us.
Who is your luckiest acolyte here? We just need to borrow them for a second.
Okay, you summon. You ask for Father Xantus specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Father Xantus, as before,
There he is.
Father Abstelar Xantus greets you happily. He is the head priest of Desna here at the church. Yes. How are you all doing? Are you all feeling okay? Is there anything troubling you?
Yeah, we found an unholy altar to Lamashtu, full of
Beautiful
dark
water.
water. And we were hoping
Among other things we found.
you could give us some help in destroying it, defusing it.
I can see. Here, and he holds out his hand. Sorry, I'm holding up my hand, but it's like below the camera, so.
Does he want the water?
Well, Gunn just asked him to delete the water, so.
Oh, not this water. The water down.
This is
Below.
definitely the water.
We just want to know what the water is.
Right.
We already.
Osher wants to keep his dark water, or
Yeah,
his
don't-
gross water.
Well, I
So don't
can take a
delete it
look at
yet.
it for you, but
Yes.
it certainly looks vile.
Gross.
Gross. Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
Oh, it's not gross.
You hand it to him, and he takes a look using his special eyes. Uh,
I have special eyes.
and Father Abstelar Xantus's special eyes reveal, yes, that this appears to be unholy water of Lamashtu. Only bad things can come about from drinking this.
Thank you.
So we won't drink it.
I would not do much with it at all, Asher. If you want to hold on to it, just keep it in the bottle.
I would refrain from letting it contact your skin for too long, even.
What's the worst that could happen? You not grow an extra hand?
Yeah, what would happen?
Well,
When dealing with the mother of monsters, all sorts of vile things could happen.
useful as a bomb.
It's a thought.
Make someone
Rather
ugly.
cruel, isn't it?
I mean, if we're talking about a demon, it probably wouldn't work anyway.
Yes,
But-
I
Aye, but we are
imagine
going
it
to
might
face some goblins.
reinvigorate them.
Wonder if that's how she got her weird hand. If she rubbed the water all over it.
Probably was involved.
Or perhaps, if
I mean,
the
she did a
water
ritual.
itself is a blessing of Lamashtu, whatever process she's going through would be another blessing
Hmm.
of Lamashtu. So her sacrificing her father in Lamashtu's name might have been considered enough of a sacrifice to, do that.
Directly.
Sorry, who are we
Right.
referring to? Who's the she?
Oh, awkward. I guess we didn't tell him, did we?
Told him.
Oh, we did.
Did you
Who
did
did
you
we
tell him
tell?
specifically about it? You mentioned that you were concerned
Yeah, we
about
told him that.
Malia. I don't know if you told him about like the demon arm and any kind of sacrificing.
We told
I
him
think
that
you
she
just
was
mentioned
still
that she was
alive
still
and
alive.
planning to, like, turn into a monster.
Well, if not, then we'll tell him now. By the way,
Okay.
that Asmar child is kind of a problem.
Yeah,
So-
I don't remember if you actually told him about the demon part, just that she probably stole his ashes and was potentially doing something bad with it. Oh yes. Well, now that you bring that up, I was surprised when you mentioned that she might be alive. So I went to talk to some of the other people within the church, and it sounds like a few people did know Nwali on a more personal level. One of her midwives still lives in town. Most of the others had died not too long ago. But if you want, I can give you her address. Perhaps you could speak with her.
Nah.
Eh? You don't want to talk to the midwife?
NPC dropping a name in front of us. Nah.
Nah.
Sure. We can discuss with her.
It's up to you. I was just surprised to learn that she had given birth at all. I was never told about a child.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was thinking that you were talking about when she was born, the midwife who helped birth her. That's a different story. I would definitely want to talk to her now.
Yeah, Nwali had a baby?
Yes, I was not aware of that, but
Uh-oh.
that's interesting.
Apparently, there was some kind of incident not too long before the fire. But I have not had a chance to talk with her yet, and I'm just told she was one of the midwives who...
Yeah, we should talk with her then. It sounds like it could have been a triggering event here. On her pathway to darkness, so to speak.
Her name is Stacy Margrave, and she lives not too far from here. And he tells you the street name she lives on and describes the house to you.
Cool.
Plot thickens.
A little bit.
Well, if that's all, I must be getting back to my duties. Is there anything else?
Do you know how we could... Do you have any tools which we could use to... I don't want to say desecrate, but redeem this altar? Make it stop producing this unholy water?
Consecration is quite the task.
Thank you, that's the one.
I can see. I don't recall if it was a ritual or a spell. It could perhaps be either. Yes, consecrate is a second level ritual. I certainly could, if you tell me where this place is, I could perhaps take a few acolytes there myself and consecrate it. It might take some time.
There's an entrance to the caves on this such and such street now. And we have a map. We can tell you how to get there.
A baby unicorn.
You show him the baby unicorn map.
It's
Yeah.
definitely more of a brain robot.
With floaties.
Ah, well, if you have a map, yes, perhaps I can have one of my acolytes copy it, if you don't mind.
Okay. I will hand him the map.
Okay.
Gonna suggest that we go and...
He rolls it up and we'll hand it to an acolyte and he says that he'll give it back to you later.
Okay.
If we're gonna be sending them down to the caves, I think we'd be best off dealing with that, ourselves, rather than waiting for the guard to get around to it. The sooner they can get everything taken care of, the better.
Mm-hmm. We could probably do that today, since it's still
Mid-afternoon.
mid-afternoon.
Yay.
Yes, Asher, we'll go ahead and take care of this, since that's what you wanted to do.
And tomorrow we can leave for the... For the hills.
I will want a bit of time tonight so I can fix your shield. So I could probably work on it a bit now before we go. Well, not in the church, that'd be kind of rude.
Could probably just...
I assume you guys at this point are just walking out of the church.
We're not going to stick around that long.
Okay. So yeah, the Father Xantos gives the... Oh, whoops, sorry. Slamming books shut. Father Xantus gives the map to one of his acolytes and has them copy it. And you guys mentioned to not go tonight or anything. He says he'll try and go with a few people and maybe a couple guards in a few days after you've secured it.
Aye.
Okay.
Sounds fair to me.
Or after it's been secured, whichever way you end up doing it. Okay, what would you guys like to do?
All right. We spent so much time down there. Let's go back.
Yeah.
I'm growing fond of the place.
All right. Directly to the
The whole.
to the rune well.
Okay, so you guys hop in. You go back to Junker Street Alley, or Junker Street, whatever, the alley on the street by the chunk. And there's 2 guards there, but they both recognize you from earlier and hail you, and you say that you want to go in, and they let you pass. And you enter the stairwell down to the catacombs. And let's warp you guys down there. And can I find you on this map? Uh-oh. Ah, there we go. Oops, Maiko's not here. Delete. Okay, I'll just fast travel you guys. Maybe not.
So who among us has the least wrathiest heart that could do the bleeding?
I don't know. I'm not too angry.
I was gonna volunteer Asher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
volunteer.
think Asher is the one I would choose.
Asher is pure of heart and just wants to have a good time. It seems like.
Just want to have a good day.
Okay, so you return to the sort of underground cathedral where the rune well was situated. It's still giving off that same dim glow that it was giving off before.
Okay, first, can I? Is there
And
liquid in it?
there's still the
liquid,
dead
right?
body of a sin spawn nearby. Yes, there is liquid in the pool. It's kind of like a glowing orange kind of magma of sorts.
Is it hot?
Do you touch it?
I put my hand near it.
It does not appear to be giving off any heat. But you do kind of feel tingles of magical energy kind of sparking at your fingertips.
I want to try and dip the jar in it. An empty jar.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Not the gross jar.
Okay, you try to
Dip the jar without touching
dip
the water.
jar.
Yeah, like I have the end of the jar.
Okay. You start this kind of scooping motion, and as the jar makes contact with the liquid, the jar begins to dissolve.
No, my
Glass begins to
jar.
dissolve. And you sort of pull it back up, and you've now got kind of like half a jar.
Oh, my jar.
And some awful water.
And it's just
Okay.
kind of sizzling with arcane energy.
Well, don't touch the water.
Don't
All
touch the
right.
water.
Well,
And
Is
the
the
beer
jar
that had been
shut?
poured in here earlier is still kind of coagulating and bubbling around. It just kind of is like a thin layer on top.
all right. Well, I guess I will use my dagger to cut my hand. My non-dominant hand.
Good call.
Okay. Let's see. I do a little bit of quick math.
I'm gonna light my sword on fire.
Okay, you
So we're all
light your
ready to go.
sword aflame. So you cut
Oh.
your hand and whoops, de-exit and spin. Whee. And drop some blood into the well.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. As you do, a sin spawn begins to rise up from the liquid.
All right.
Hello.
And it just kind of begins to crawl out. Yeah, I'll take initiative. Let's go.
Sure. Perception.
Yes, perception, unless you've got some other thing that you want to convince me of.
We were sort of ready for this to happen.
Yes, so I'm giving you all a bonus of perception.
Okay. That's fair. I guess. You're getting there. Alright.
Okay, is that everybody's rolls there? That's 25 for Asher, 17 for Gunn, and 15 for Greshy. And you all get a
Aye.
plus 10 bonus, so it doesn't really matter because the Sin Spawn got 4. So, Asher, you're first up. You see this thing begin to rise up out of the pool of blood, or pool of water, I guess.
Well, does it look as healthy as the other one that came out?
Yes, it does.
Okay, it's a healthy bowl.
It doesn't appear to be like injured in any way.
Okay, or like scrawnier or anything.
No, they're all kind of thin to begin with.
Okay.
And for those who haven't seen what a sin spawn looks like live, I'll go ahead and show you. They're kind
It's a
of
delight.
these,
Oh, look at it.
Is he born with
weird,
clothes?
gross humanoids. Yes, it comes with some strands.
Stringy rags.
Yeah. Has kind of a weird half-open mouth and a gnarly-looking tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And
Not
creepy
being
glowing
born maybe
eyes.
so much as portaled in.
But whatever the case may be, Asher, you have first action. What do you want?
It's my sin spawn. It's very cute compared to the other ones. Okay.
I'm
Well, I
sure
have my dagger
about
out
that.
already.
Well,
Which dagger do I have out, actually?
Dana in the chat is calling this your demon baby.
My demon baby.
let's make it despawn.
Alright,
I need the air horns.
Yeah. Okay. So I have the cold iron dagger out. But so how long does readying an action take? Like if I wanted to wait until it attacked to attack?
So you can delay, which is take
Okay.
yourself out of initiative order and just wait until somebody else's turn, and after their turn you can jump back in. Or you can ready an action, which is keep your initiative order, but you spend 2 actions to ready 1 action as a reaction. Does that make sense?
Okay. All right, that's
Which really
actually
3
perfect, I think.
in a sense. Because it also
I want
It's
to.
like
I want
2.5.
to tell the sin spawn. I want to see. I want to be like, don't attack us. I want to see if it doesn't. But
Okay.
in the case that it does, I'm gonna ready my dagger to attack it.
Okay, so 2 actions to ready a dagger attack action.
Yep.
Gun. Do you wait?
It's a hard
You can
decision.
attack it.
fine. We can try this one time.
Are you going to delay or are you going to ready an action?
I'm going to delay.
Okay. You're delaying. Just tell me after once a turn is ended, tell me that you want to jump in.
Mhm.
Greshy.
I have 2 questions, one of which will likely be an action. The first one is, can I tell that it's seen us? And the second question is, if it has seen us, can I tell if it is appearing to be hostile already? I assume that would be a perception. Action,
Yeah, I would say that's an action as a perception check. Yes.
which is fine. I'm happy.
So
to
it's-
You know
do
what?
that.
Readying
kind
is
of
directly
crawling
better
itself
than readying is directly better than delaying in this case.
So you wanted to write an action instead?
Yeah.
I mean,
You can delay until after Greshy then.
Yeah, but then that's the same as just not doing anything at all for an entire turn.
no, I mean,
No,
it just
delay
right,
until after
you'll jump in
Greshy.
right after I finish, and then
Because
you
there's
can ready
only
it.
one- no, I mean,
All you've done is
because
swap the
of-
turns. Literally all you're doing is swapping the turns. You can ready your action right after. that's fine.
All right, I'll jump back in after Greshy then.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, let me make that perception roll. That is a 19 total.
A 19. Whoops. Why didn't that open? Character sheet, come on. Maybe I should have done that. Since spawn, there we go. I believe a 19 will hit. Yes, 19 hits. There we go.
Oh, that's not a hit. That's a that's my perception.
Oh, perception.
Perception.
Hi everyone. You hit it with your perception.
I did. I'm staring right at it.
Eye in it.
So let me look at it. Yes. So it seems to have noticed you all as it's kind of climbing out, and it does look quite angry. It doesn't seem to be responding to Asher's commands.
All right. Well, then we're gonna do stuff to it. My second action, then, I will have Phelan run around it, like around the pool to. Oh, that's good. To kind of go over here to the other side of next to me.
Okay.
Does it have a chance to do anything at that point?
Yeah, it'll go ahead and take a claw swipe as a reaction.
Ooh.
That
Good
is
trick.
20
to hit.
That
Phelan?
will hit.
That will hit.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
You tempted it into an attack of opportunity to prove that it wasn't listening.
And against a dog, too.
So that is 9 damage, 9 claw swipe slashing damage to Phelan.
Oof. All right.
As Phelan tries to get around to the other side of the well.
And
It's-
since
the
that
creature
has happened,
snarls.
I will go ahead and spend.
So before
A-
you continue the rest of your turn, Asher, it's hostile. You have your reaction. You can use it.
Oh, I'm gonna try and attack it.
Okay.
A 21.
21 will hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Alright, it is a 2 with my
A 2.
cold iron dagger.
Okay. You do a little solid stab at its arm as it's like swiping at Phelan along the ground. Continue your turn, Greshy.
And
2 actions left, or 1 action.
my final action, I will use a 1 action heal on. Just reading something here. Yes. Okay. I will use my 1 action heal animal since he's right next to me, so I'll just pat him on the head for being a good sport and taking that. Actually, wait. He gets 2. That was 1 movement to move and then another one to attack, so he'll actually get to attack. Can I interrupt his turn to do mine, or does it matter?
I'll allow it. Sure.
Okay. In this case, it doesn't matter. You can kind of revisit it if it actually makes a difference. But in this case,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just going to
kind
heal
of
him.
weird. It's a little ambiguous in the book, but I think I'll go ahead and allow it.
Okay, so he heals back another
if-
7.
If he ever gets KO'd on your turn, that's the end of his actions.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think
Okay.
we ran into that before we actually did the playtest, or the second edition proper. Anyway, and then we'll let him take a bit of a chomp in return for this jerk off getting at him.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's only a 13 to hit.
Okay, 7 points of healing to Phelan, and then a 13 to hit. It is being flanked, so its AC is reduced by 2. Still not quite enough.
All right.
Gunn, would you like to jump in here?
Yep, I will.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'm going to start attacking this guy with my longsword. So we have a swing. 16 to hit.
With the flanking now provided by Phelan, that's a hit.
Excellent. We now know what this fire damage does also, so I do 7 piercing and 4 fire.
Okay,
Max
that's a
damage on the fire.
Nice.
pretty good chunk of damage. 7 piercing, 4 fire damage from his smoldering rune. You need an action. Oh, you already activated it. Sorry. Okay.
Yep.
That was your first action. Was swinging the smoldering longsword.
I will swing it back the other direction. Catch him
Okay,
on the
that-
backswing for
that
a
19 will
9
hit. Roll damage.
or 12 damage this time, mostly slashing.
Okay, that was a good strike across his chest. You have 1 more action.
He's still standing?
Yep, it's still standing, but just barely.
Well, I ain't got a shield anymore, so I'm gonna gather myself and then do a nice 2-handed slash that's gonna probably miss.
For 10.
Total of 10.
Total 10. That is a miss. So the Sin Spawn's turn. It is just kind of confused and inundated by enemies at this point. So it's going to just kind of claw randomly. Let's see. First claw is going to be... There's 4 creatures. So second one is Asher. So it's going to claw at Asher to start with. That is a 17 to hit Asher.
A what?
17.
No, it does not hit.
17 does not hit. Okay. Second attack is a 1, so that's going to be Gunn. Does its claw attack. That's a 15 to hit Gunn.
I've got a 19 AC at the moment.
Okay. And threw the dice off the table. It's going to attack Gunn
That doesn't
again.
do much good.
For a natural 1, for a total of 1.
0.
All right, that was its turn. Great turn, Sinspawn. Great turn. Asher, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna try and jab it again with my dagger.
Okay, you stab at it with the dagger.
Alright. 16.
It doesn't quite have flanking in this situation, so that does not.
It is flanked, but
It is flanked,
Asher
but
was not flanking it.
Yes.
correct.
I
There's
have
not somebody on the opposite side from Asher.
Okay. Flanking is no longer a status. I think we've touched on that before.
Yeah. Okay, so you swing at it. It manages to dodge the blow.
Alright, I'm gonna hunt target it, which I should have done before. Second action. And then for my third, I'm gonna try and hit it again for 17.
With the 17.
17
Yeah.
is a whiff, just barely. It blocks the blade with its arm. It kind of stabs into it as bone, but that is the end of your turn. Greshy.
All right. Greshy's going to, with his wand, activate it to. Well, shite. I already said so. He's going to activate it to cast Shock and Grasp. Okay. I haven't heard
Okay.
anything yet, so I'm gonna.
Yes, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and cast it then. And that did not cast the way it was supposed to. So I need to make a
So
melee
it needs to do
spell
a
attack.
reflex save.
No, it's a melee attack.
Oh, you're
it's a
using
melee
spell.
attack spell attack.
Okay, so you whip out the wand. So you're drawing the wand with one action and then zapping?
Aye.
Okay.
That is the plan. Where is the? Where is it? There it is. Okay, I'm just going to do this manually. Be 1d6 plus.
Troubles of a new spell.
I thought I had it set up, and apparently I didn't. So that doesn't do me much good for rolling it at all.
Okay, it should be d20 plus your level plus 2 plus wisdom.
Strength. Wisdom? Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's plus wisdom would be 4. All right. So it's a total of 18 to hit.
Okay, that is exactly enough to hit. Roll the damage.
Excellent. Not hit.
Kaboom.
This one. Roll 2d12 to zap it.
Electricity, yep.
That's
Is not wearing armor.
Yeah,
That
I
is
didn't expect it to be.
enough to zap the creature to smithereens. It is just a crispy husk of a sin spawn that just begins to dissolve in the rune well. I forgot to mention when the sin spawn spawned that the well itself already began to dim. And it's looking quite dim, but there's still a glow coming from it.
okay. So it visibly dimmed further.
Yes, it visibly dimmed further.
Like barely dim, or pretty dim, or not super dim?
It's pretty dim.
Okay.
It's giving off just like a glow up to about 5 feet. Oh, there you go. You got it.
Shocking grasp. Okay,
I
cool.
think I've got that corrected now.
Nice damage.
Plus 2 plus 4. Ignore that though. That wasn't this time, unfortunately. Anyway. All right, so that's one down.
Everyone want to heal and then try again?
Yeah, Greshy's going to move over here, and that way he's kind of across from Asher as it comes out. Can we carefully drag it from the pool so that it's not in the way?
Yeah, you managed to carefully drag it out of the pool.
I just get it someplace else.
Okay.
So it's a bit dimmer. Are you all set?
Unless you want to use any heals, I can probably use one. We can do first aid.
Let me spend a little bit. I can do first aid on Gunn and myself.
Yeah.
Since Asher seems to be still in well spirits, despite stab in his hand.
Yeah. Do I get damaged from stabbing my own hand, or is it not even
No, you did not take damage from that. Unless you happen to be a fiend that's weak to cold iron.
I don't think so. Am I, Jason?
No.
Is there something about my backstory?
You would know by now. This is how you find out.
All right,
Ow.
so this is the medicine check for... I do it per person again, if I recall correctly. So this is the medicine check for Gunn to start with. So a total of 20, which I think just means 2d8 healing for Gunn. So 5 hit points back.
Wasn't it?
It's 48 if I critical, and that was not a critical success.
Gotcha.
He did not
The
crit
DC,
you.
I believe, is 15, and it would need to be of 25 to be a critical success.
Okay.
And for myself, it's only a 12, so I actually fail, which means I don't heal at all. It's not a critical failure, so I don't deal damage to myself, which is good, but...
All right, I'll put my 6 hit points on you that I can offer.
Sure, that's fine. 27. And Phelan is a bit rough, but he'll be all right. I don't know, can I use regular healing on Phelan?
Yeah, sure. He's a living creature
Alright.
just like anything else.
Might as well. Unfortunately, it's only a 13, so it turns out that I'm coming up short on the different bandages that I need to actually take care of for them properly. I'll have to restock once I get back to town. Should have done that when I bought the repair kit, but unfortunately I did not.
Well, while you're doing that, if I can gather myself and meditate on the good we're doing here by destroying this well, then I can get my point back as well.
Okay.
And use it on myself. Back to 33. And then we
Alright,
should
so
be...
you refocus, gaining another usage of Lay on Hands, which you use to heal yourself.
Yep.
And with that, you guys all ready?
Yep. When you're ready, Asher.
All right. I'm gonna do it again. I should have just saved my blood in a jar. That would have been easier.
Jars of various
jars
liquids.
of... Maybe a vial?
It.
Okay,
I'm just
so
gonna put my own blood in a jar for later. You know?
Okay, so you just hold your hand out and do a quick swipe
Yep.
again
Boop.
with the dagger. Some more blood comes out, hits the well, and another sin spawn begins to crawl out. This time, the sin spawn looks quite a bit more anemic than before, and you watch as the runes all around the sides of the rune well begin to spark and fizzle. And
That was right.
the magical stone that's sort of built up this triangular-shaped well begins to crumble, and the water that was inside begins to sort of spill out onto the floor.
Ooh.
Note, make sure you don't fully drain the battery of your
Of your rune
well, or you avoid the warranty.
Okay, another battle.
Alright.
Reroll initiatives, if you would.
Oh, that's a 9 for me.
With 21 for me.
It's a natural one.
I can't roll initiatives on these sin spawns, so
I'm
12,
okay with that, as long as it's lower than a 9.
Which has not changed my...
So you have to click the thing, but I can change it.
Yeah,
There we go.
it said, okay, cool.
All right, so
Like-
this is a very similar looking order. Asher with 21, Gunn with 12, and Greshy with 9, and the poor old
Time.
Spawn with 4. Asher, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna hunt target first, or hunt prey, I think it is now.
Yes, hunt prey.
I hunt my prey.
You mark the Sin Spawn as your prey, watching its movements as it begins to climb out.
Ooh. Now that I know they're not very nice, I'm just going to attack it. Or attack. Oh, 26.
26 will hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Okay, and I have my 5 plus 7, 12.
So 12
Damage.
points of damage. Okay, it's looking pretty heavily wounded.
I had a question on that one.
Mhm.
Out of curiosity, since I'm flanking it, does that make it a crit?
Oh, shoot. Good point.
Ooh.
That's a 26. That makes that a 28. Yes, that's 10 over its AC. That is a crit. Thank you for bringing that up. I was thinking it wouldn't matter, but it does matter. Every point matters in the system.
Damage again. Yeah, that is nice.
So do I
go ahead
roll
and-
the damage again?
Yeah, roll again.
It is a 3 and an 8 for 11.
Okay, it's so distracted by Greshy behind you that you manage to strike critically at its heart, stabbing it, twisting the knife, and slaying it in one fell action.
Goodbye,
Very
my
nice.
son. Or daughter.
Just keep killing all your children. That's
And with that, your 2 rune babies are dead,
No. They
The
could have been my
well-
friend.
is destroyed.
Asher praying mantis board. Cool. No, that's the
That's the
the
husband.
mate. That's right.
yeah. I certainly hope that Asher's wasn't planning to do anything with those sin spawn. They're the wrong kind for that. You need the lost ones.
I'm gonna eat.
Okay, what would you guys
Well.
like to do now?
I want to get the hell away from the water. Make sure it's not getting on my shoes or on Phelan.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Stuff is nasty.
Okay.
Otherwise, if it does seem to be disabled. It looks like the thing's falling apart.
Yeah, it looks like it's just kind of fallen apart. The stone around it has kind of crumbled. The water is spilled out over the floor. Seems to have sort of become normal water at this point. It's still kind of giving us this kind of sickly orange hue, but it's not glowing anymore.
Still staying the fuck away from that. All right. Well, good.
Let's
Unless
get out of here.
Okay, you guys leave. You don't have to walk out.
I
Sure.
want to walk out.
Too bad, I'm teleporting you off the
no.
map.
No. My steps.
my step counter. It's going to be so inaccurate.
I
Okay,
need
you
10,000
guys.
a day, Jason.
Sorry. You return to the surface, back to Sandpoint proper. And with that, let's go ahead and take a quick break, I think. That sounds like a good
Excellent.
idea. So, we shall be RB. There we go. Okay. We are back. So, what do you guys want to do? You're back in Sandpoint proper.
Is it still light out?
Yes, this endeavor only took like another hour. The sun's beginning to set at this point. So it's maybe 6 p.m. at most.
We could
How
go
many days
to
is it, Magnemar? Didn't we say we were going to go party?
Party.
yeah. Peace out. Campaign over.
We no longer want to be.
This is when we go and make our own campaign. We were going to go talk to what I had her name here as Stacy Margrave.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the only one with like a weird short name. Stacy.
And what kind of name is Stacy?
Yeah,
Right?
I've never heard of someone with that name before.
Seems it's just a disappointed name.
Well, it's short for Stacevel.
That makes sense. Stacevel.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
much better.
Yeah.
Stacevel, known as Stacy.
Yes, her friends
Looking at my notes
call her
here.
Stacy.
Ah, that's fair. Well, hopefully she'll think of us as a friend.
Or 3 friends.
Hi, we're great friends.
Are we gonna go see her?
Yep.
Interrupt her dinner.
Oh, 3 friends and a puppy.
Oh, of course. Let's not forget Phelan. We cannot forget Phelan. Good boy. Good boy.
Phelan
But the
wags
point
his
is not
tail as
just
you're petting.
1 friend combined.
Okay.
Trying to
so you
remember the name of
guys-
that one guy.
Are you just standing in the street hanging out, or are you actually gonna go?
I thought we were.
Allergast.
Yeah, we're
That's
going.
right.
Allergast.
All right. You
Let's not forget about
Don't
Allergast.
forget you, Allergast.
Rest in
Rest in
peace,
peace.
rest in
Allergast.
peace to Allergas.
We never
That
met
is-
you.
Allergast and Petal.
Okay, you make your way over to the house as described. Yeah, it's a pretty small wooden dwelling. Looks a bit on the older side. The windows are currently open, and the curtains are just kind of billowing in the wind.
Oh, not in an ominous way.
No, not in an ominous way, no.
Okay.
Just looks like it's the kind of like open windows for like cleaning. They're
Right.
dusting or something inside.
See, perfectly normal in this setting. It would be kind of weird if the window was like open. Normally the curtains were just blowing out. I was thinking it in more modern sense. I was like, did someone break in?
No. Yeah, it doesn't look like a break-in. It just looks like they have their windows open for cooling or
Okay.
to air those out.
Then let's knock
say
on the
cool?
door.
Have a knock.
It's fucking
Asher is the
Knock.
designated
Sorry.
knocker.
I
Done with
love
these already.
knocking. It's my favorite activity.
Besides
All
cuts in your hand and summoning Sinspawn.
Oh yeah, I never patched up my hand. By the way, it's literally just gross
There's just like dried blood.
Did you want something for that, Asher? I can.
I never asked for it, so no. But it can be offered, but I did not ask.
I was offering right now. That's why I was.
Oh,
I just
Yeah,
like that.
sure.
It wasn't offered, so no, not now.
Yeah, no, I'll take it if it's offered to me, but I didn't. Asher didn't go out of his way to ask. He kind of just ignored it.
Sure. Well, I
Okay,
mean, I'll
so
just.
Asher, you
what I've
like
got
knock
left.
on the door, and as you do so, you lower your hand at Greshy, being short. You are at eye level with her hand, his hand, not eye level, but you spot the hand out of the corner of your eye, and
Let me fix that up for you.
Okay.
I've got a few more bandages left. I can fix that, and we'll just have to swing by Vim vendors, whichever gets
Vim
some more
vendor.
supplies later.
Well, thank you.
okay, so you start to bandage up Asher's hand, and as you're doing so, the door opens, and a very elderly human woman, darker skin, and but like thick black hair, very curly, opens the door. Hello. Are you trying to sell me something? I don't need anything. I'm quite okay, thank you.
We've come for taxes.
Oh my god.
That was a
No.
joke.
already paid my taxes.
Good. Better than some folk.
Oh my god.
No, we're here on behalf of the church, and we actually had some questions about a birth that you performed some years ago, about 5 years ago.
You must be the folks that Father Xantus was talking about. Yes. Come in. It's a bit of a dark story. She leads you
Excellent.
inside.
Thank you.
It was their personal business. I don't want to talk about it in the open, you see.
No, that makes perfect sense.
And
Sure.
she takes you
Go on,
in, and
Sam.
she leads you over to just a common sitting area and goes and closes the windows. Not in an ominous way, just to. She's about to tell you.
I would now like to
sort of
sense
private
motive to
story.
see if she's actually being ominous. Because I'm
Yeah.
No,
check
she's
all
not
the time.
being ominous in the slightest. Unless
can I
you're,
sense motive on the DM about being ominous? Is that possible?
yes,
Okay.
you can. No, but she just closes the windows, and takes a seat. Well, how much did you want to know? I guess I can just start from the beginning.
Yes.
That sounds
Perfect
good.
place to start.
Well, I was good friends of the father, before all the bad things started happening in town. His daughter was, by all accounts, a nice girl. She was quite shy and kept to herself most of the time.
Until
She-
something happened.
Well,
Which-
she got in a bit of a relationship with one of the local boys. Delic Visconta, I think his name was. Just a farmhand. No one special, I guess. What I was told was that she went and got pregnant with his child. From my
Something happened.
understanding, yes, the father wasn't. Father Tobin wasn't terribly pleased, I think, with what happened, and I honestly haven't seen the boy since then. I'm not sure whatever happened to him. All I know is that he ran off. She eventually was sort of due to give birth, but it's a hard memory. She furrows her brow and just kind of rubs one of her temples. I remember it like it was yesterday. What came out of
Something
her
wrong.
wasn't human.
Or celestial.
Certainly not celestial. Unless the gods are crueler than I can imagine. She gave birth to some horrible... well, it's... She kind of just sighs and shakes her head.
That's all right. I think we understand.
Did this Delic fella seem to be not of this plane, this world?
No, he was just a normal farmer's boy. The two of them used to go running around, cavorting about town, hiding, playing games. I don't know, really. It wasn't until I didn't really find out that they were really a thing until I found out about the pregnancy. And Father Tobin told us to keep it a secret, so we a few of us helped deliver the baby or whatever it was in the confines of the church.
Did the baby survive?
No,
Okay.
the thing was it was a miscarriage of sorts. We had it taken away and burnt.
Burned alive or burned dead?
Burnt dead.
Okay.
It was dead when it...
Even in, yes. All right.
After that, poor Nualia fell into a coma for a few months. And I don't know what happened to her after that. The next thing we knew, the church was on fire a few months later, and we thought both her and her father had died then.
She did not. So, and she seems rather bitter about the ordeal and looking for revenge. So
when she was in her coma, was she resting in the church, or?
Yes, Father Tobin and Nualia had permanent rooms at the church at the time.
So they just had her resting in her room?
Yes.
All right. Well.
Was the pregnancy otherwise normal, other than the birth, as far as pregnancies go?
Yes, it seemed normal to us. It took a while for us for me to even notice. I didn't really know until Father Tobin mentioned it to me, actually.
And when did he mention it to you? When the baby was due?
Not long before the baby was due, yes. Just a couple months beforehand.
A couple months before. But she otherwise looked... Was she walking around town pregnant?
She didn't get out around town much after Delic disappeared.
So her father kept her cloistered in the cathedral?
Yes, I assumed that he didn't want anybody to know. He always did want her to join a convent at some point, or he did always push her too hard. His expectations were... I always got the impression that she... it just wasn't the life that she wanted to live.
Does Delic's family still live in the town?
No, not that I know of. After Delic went missing, I believe they moved. Perhaps to... where did they go? I'm not sure. Riddleport, or maybe Magnamar, I'm not sure.
Okay.
This is going to be a bit insensitive, so I guess excuse me or whatever. What did the child look like? A creature that...
I guess excuse me or whatever. That's
I'm trying not to be too insensitive, but I also don't care that much.
Yeah. No, that's a perfect charisma 8 kind of sentence for you.
The child was deformed and had a claw-like
extra
hand
limbs?
And no extra limbs. Just
claw-like hand.
It looked almost like a demon to me.
Does that sound familiar? Gunn?
Well, I mean, other than everything we've seen so far.
So, perhaps she was into worship in certain things that weren't of the Church of Desna before, well, things happened.
Or perhaps there's something with her that...
Or maybe your dad was super into...
I'm guessing she's not what she thought she was.
That's possible too.
Or she's cursed. Like maybe she's half celestial, half demonic, or something like that. Instead of half celestial, half human.
That'd be interesting. What was it you said, Asher?
It's just of her adopted father right now.
Yes. Doesn't seem like a pleasant fellow, but it's not like we can go ask him many questions at this point.
It's true. He is dead.
That's just dead and burned.
Dead, unearthed, and then burned.
Zakian was always a stern man, but his sternness was because he cared for people, or at least I thought. I never thought that he would be... I don't know. I never suspected anything.
Well, thank you for your
Sometimes
time.
people are darker than they appear, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I think we've heard everything we need from her.
I don't. I appreciate your willingness to keep this secret. It might be still something to keep under covers for the time being.
She nods. It's been a hard thing for me to think about. But I hope that you're all doing good work.
Hope so too.
Trying to protect the town. So, yeah, thank you for talking about it, even though it was difficult.
If Nuale really is alive, could you tell her I'm sorry?
We'll try.
And she kind of just wipes a tear from her eye.
Alright.
Okay. She just kind of sits there in silence.
Greshy's going to take 5 silver and place it on a table and then walk out.
Okay.
All right.
What do Asher and Gunn do?
Just
I'm gonna
follow.
leave along with Greshy.
So, sorry for your sadness. Here's some money.
Pondering.
That does seem to be your thing. So,
Well, it's more that if they're willing to share, they should be compensated for it, especially when it's hard like this. So, Mords only do so much with money. She can at least drink her sorrows away if that makes her feel better, or buy something that will help her.
Buy a giraffe.
yeah.
She could buy a fancy dress. Maybe that'll help her feel better. I don't know.
She could buy a giraffe dress.
She could. She could buy a long neck horse dress.
Long horse.
Long horse is long. So my personal theory is that I think that somehow she started worshiping Lamash too early. And that when she woke up from her coma, she was the one who lit that cathedral on fire. I don't think she was fond of Desna at that point, and sick of being cloistered up as her father was doing.
Yeah. So it's possible that the baby was cursed because of her actions. It's also possible that the baby was cursed and that's what led her to start, like, down this road.
I would be willing to say, depending, she may have been involved in something that caused her to have such a cursed baby.
I think her dad did something, like performed a ritual to
You
get
think her dad was also... Well,
That was the demon baby. And then
it was a demon
Dad
baby.
made the other guy disappear. Delic, because he's like, oh, no one will ever guess.
Viscount Dalek.
I think that's who I'm suspicious of. We have many theories.
We do.
And
I like it.
maybe any of them are right. Maybe all of them are right. Maybe none of them.
Everyone's at least has something in common, which is good.
So our next stop was going to be out of town to try and find the goblin camp.
I will want to head north to the forest and see what we can find there. I actually was wondering if anybody's seen Gorvy around.
Seen who?
Gorvy, the half-orc who cleans up the town.
Oh, no.
Haven't seen him in a while.
You haven't seen him recently, not since the festival, really.
'Cause I have a thought. Can I ask around and see if anyone knows where he lives, perhaps? I guess I could just poke my head inside the lady's house and ask her.
She doesn't know, but you could try and gather information using diplomacy, if you so chose.
I could definitely do that. That would go horribly, but we'll try it. Let's see what I roll here. That is a total of 7. I'm not too familiar with Sandpoint, and I'm not. Me walking up to random people, like, I'm looking for the half orc doesn't necessarily inspire a willingness to talk.
Yeah, you ask a few people about the local half orc. They mostly just kind of shrug or kind of put off by you. So it takes a bit longer than you'd like, but eventually you do find somebody who is like, oh, yeah, that Gorvy guy, I think he just lives over by the beach. Most evenings I see him wheeling off all the junk in town to Junker Beach.
That actually is even better. If Junker Beach is up to the north, right? Isn't that actually... Was it that beach that the Glassworks caves led to, or was it the other beach?
Yeah, it's the same beach, yeah.
The same beach. That actually works out the way even better than I was thinking it would. You guys don't have to come with. I just want to have a quick conversation with him.
All right. Head back to the inn.
Okay. Gunn heads
I'll
back to the
also
inn.
head back to the inn.
All right, Asher
Start
goes
getting
with.
dinner. Meet you later.
Go for a quick walk down to the beach. Set in sun.
You and Phelan go jauntily skipping down to the beach, where there is just mounds and mounds of trash and recyclable, well, not recyclables, but trash and various things just kind of laid out on the beach. Many things here are kind of most of the recent stuff here is are fragments from the recent attack. Just like broken crates and barrels and things that are partially scorched. There's also just rusty bits and bobs of metal and various scraps of apple cores that are rotting. And there's just a small shack off to the side, just pretty close to the beach. And you see Gorvy is currently outside. Looks like he's shoveling something from a wheelbarrow with his hand and chucking it into one of the piles.
I'll go and greet him in the kindliest manner fashionable. You!
Oi, what you want?
I had some questions for you, Garvey. Can you spare a minute?
He throws another piece of junk. Sure.
How long you been doing this? How many years, I should say?
1, 2, 10 years, I think.
Okay. That's the first question. Second question. You ever seen... And I'll point in the direction of the entrance to the caves that's hidden in the side of the cliffs.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen anybody come out over there? Go in or come out in your 10 years you've been here?
Maybe a few times I've seen people running along the cliffside. Don't know. Like
you
who?
Think? I'm more wondering. Do you remember Nualia from years ago?
What's a Nalia?
Nualia.
Nulia?
Do you remember the old cleric who ran the church before it burned?
No.
Okay. Trying to remember if I had a physical description to give.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. Trying to find out if he remembers if anybody came in or out of the caves from there.
He's kind of thinking and scratching his head. I do remember
Probably.
there were some teenagers flirting around back there at some point.
Boy and girl.
Yeah, I think so. That was
Nice.
years ago.
That's the time frame I'm asking. You're doing good.
Mostly kind of annoying.
They would have been.
I
Kids
can't
usually
keep this
are.
accent straight. I've given up. It's morphed into like 3 different things.
It's fine. He's an orc. He can't remember which accent he has, so it's fine. All right.
He's
That's
trying to put
exactly
on
how-
different accents.
It's like trying to be fancy and maybe not quite hitting there. All right. You don't remember there being any sort of hole in the side of the cliff that they may have gone into if they were hanging around flirting there?
Cliff hole? I don't remember ever seeing any cliff hole.
All right. I will take out 10 silver and hand it over.
Oh. Hey, his expression kind of brightens. Yeah, sure, I'll take 10.
If you remember anything further, please let me know. We'll be staying at the Rusty Dragon.
Well, now that you mention it, there used to be some kids around here that used to go up around. They used to play around back here in the junk. Used to climb around the hillside. Used to see them running all around.
Are any of them still around?
I don't know. I haven't seen them in a long time.
Okay.
Some girl with white hair. I think that boy she was with had brown hair, maybe. You've noticed since you've given him the gold that he's become much more fluent.
His memory seems to be working better.
Yeah.
All right.
Even just his demeanor, he just seems to be more fluent in common. It seemed like he was giving off a...
He's just pretending a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, all right. That does help a bit. But you don't remember any hole in the cave side or cliff side at all.
He shakes his head
Okay,
in a negatory fashion.
fair enough. Well, again, let me know if you can think of anything else. We're trying to find out more information about these two from back then, and otherwise,
Yeah, if
keep
I
up
think
the.
of something, I'll come say hello.
Yeah,
Especially
and for that
if there's
matter,
more
we may
coin
be
in it
having
for
some
me.
beer tonight on the house over at the Rusty Dragon. So you're welcome to come after you're done with your work.
That's fine. I got my own beer.
Is it good, or is it beer?
It's beer.
Fair
and
enough.
he hucks one last piece of junk into the junk pile and makes to go into his shack.
All right, then we'll head off back to the Rusty Dragon ourselves. Not with as much information as I was hoping, but it's worth a shot.
Okay. Asher and Gunn, when you arrive at the Rusty Dragon, things are kind of picking up for the evening. There's a few patrons who are already kind of sitting down having meals. Mako is back to her busy self. Her and Bethana are currently serving dishes, running back to the bar to pour drinks, cooking food, that sort of thing.
I'm gonna sit at a table with my paper and pen and start writing on it. I look very deep in thought.
We have a bottle of wine that's been aged in 0G. We should see if that
Do you want to drink the creepy
Makes-
wine?
changes the flavor any. Yeah.
Don't I have that stuff? Or did you grab that?
So there's the things we did not sell are the book and the wine.
Right, I just don't remember who had it. It's kind of hard to drink it if I had it, but well, he gave it to you. It's fine.
I'm not sure who packed it away. I don't think we ever really were clear on who put it in the pack.
Do you want me to roll for it?
Packs are probably all here because I think we dropped everything back after we explored.
Right. Well, yeah. It's
I mean, we came back after exploring, so we probably would have
sorted out.
dropped stuff off. I haven't been hauling my bedroll around all day.
What, you don't
Sure.
normally do that?
The wine is here. You can have Pathfinder
we'll
cork
have
it for you. And,
some dinner if there's any boar left, and
That boar would have lost a long time at this point.
that was like 3 days ago at this point. So
was it?
Was it just 2?
Maybe
I think
2.
it was 3. It's been a bit.
I think they've mostly run out of boar. There's a couple of, and she gave you most of the rest of it as rations.
Right. That's right.
So at this point, they've been using maybe the bones to make stock, but for various soups.
Well, anyway, we can buy a dish of home cooking and pair it with the wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay because your food is free here. What'd you say?
He could drink the wine. Asher will watch him drink the wine.
Okay. Asher
You're willing to-
watches.
You're ready to
Gunn
drink
drink
gross
the wine.
water, but
I never said I was gonna drink.
it was sealed, right? The wine that we found.
Yes, the wine was sealed. So, Bethana unseals it, pops the cork, pours you a glass, offers one to Asher.
No, not
Thanks.
yet.
That's it. And we should invite her and Mako to eat with us if they have the time. We're going to continue and tell them about our plans for tomorrow.
Well, so you think to offer this, but Ameko just seems to be super busy at the moment. You can flag her down if you want.
Sure. She's working here?
Yeah, I mean, it's her
Owns
inn.
the place. Yeah.
She owns the place, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought Bethana did most of the... Anyway.
Only when Ameko is unconscious, trapped in
Right,
a
okay, enough.
dungeon. Yeah, they kind of both work together. I mean, if you want to try and flag down Ameko, you can. Do you have anything specific you want to tell her? Or?
That we're heading north tomorrow to look for the altar where we think Nualia may have done a ritual, and see if we can track them from there, find any kind of camp they might have.
Well, that certainly sounds like a lot of fun. I wish I could join you. But unfortunately, I've got more meetings with the lawyers tomorrow. And the next day, and the next day. And she just kind of sighs.
Maybe next time we go down through that rubble, you'll have some free time. Because you're definitely helpful to have along, and it's been good.
Well,
journey
thanks.
with you.
It's been a while since I've gotten to do actual fun adventuring work, but the inn's nice too. Hopefully the
That it is.
legal nonsense will clear up in a few weeks or something. But thanks for offering.
Of course. Well, we'll let you know what we find.
And she nods and goes back to her work. At this point, after you guys are your meals are already kind of out, Greshy comes walking back in the inn. You see they've already set up. Asher is currently
Got him
scribbling something.
A meal.
All right. So you got me some food. That's appreciated. What's Asher doing?
Writing vigorously.
I'm asking Asher, what are you doing?
Oh, I am writing down my thoughts.
Oh, you keep a journal.
Yes, look at this. And Asher shows. Oh, wow, no one can read this because it's
Focus.
backwards. Oh wait, no, here we go.
It's far. It's
Wait.
wood
Demon
cutter.
activity.
Look,
Would have been
Alright, I'll read it.
suddenly evil.
I've been I've been considering
Underlined.
weird demonic activity in this town. First, the woodcutter. He was good and then suddenly evil, and then a weird demon pregnancy from a girl that was good who's suddenly evil. Suddenly evil town, lots of suddenly evil things are happening here. And then Asher goes back to writing. He's trying to
He's not
figure
wrong.
it out.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah, it seems a
I
little
went
weird.
and spoke with the trash cleaner, and he's not as helpful as I was hoping, but he did say that back when Nualia and Delic would have been running about, he did see them near the cave entrance we found on the beach. It's possible they were going into the caves for whatever reason. So, again, whatever they're up to, it doesn't seem to be... Well, it doesn't seem to be for Desna, since it didn't do anything to deal with the actual caves themselves. So, it's a thought. But I don't know what that Tobin guy would have been up to. Anyway,
Shall
so
we,
we're going to look for goblins tomorrow?
shall we rest and sit out in the morning?
Sounds like a good idea.
Unless there's any eventful things that happen.
Nope, nothing eventful happens. You all sort of wrap up your meals deep in thought, trying to sort out the mysteries that plague Sandpoint, and the series of sudden evil occurrences that all happened around the same time.
Suddenly.
SEOs.
Very suddenly. And let's see. So resting, I believe you all get your level's worth of HP, but I don't actually remember where that rule was in the new book, so I can look at it.
It's either level times con or it's level. I think it's level times con.
Rest. You get level times con modifier
Perfect.
with 8 hours of sleep. And you also level up again.
Oh,
Ooh.
thank.
Ooh. To level
Sweet.
3. A little bit kind of weirdly staggered, but I should have accounted for the tutorial fighting the dragon in the first spot. But I'll be level
that's fair.
3.
Wow, that's quick.
Yes. This adventure is also kind of a little bit on the fast track, so a little bit faster than normal leveling.
Okay, but this is the level you're supposed to be at this point in the story?
Yeah.
This is the level that Jason's decided we're supposed to be at.
Yep.
For now.
Milestone leveling. Let's go.
So much nicer.
Okay. But yeah, you guys awaken in the morning. You have leveled up. We'll do that off screen, but you will have leveled up at this point. And what would you like to do today? Things in the morning are fairly standard. It's a bit cloudy outside. It's gotten a bit colder. Let's see what today is in Pathfinder days. It was
whatever Friday is
of Rova. It is now Fire Day, the 28th of Rova. Fire Day. In the year 4707, Absalom Reckoning.
Nice. Well, we should make sure we're ready for the trip up to the forest, because it's a bit of a trek.
Yeah, we'll probably want to rent horses.
I mean, is it that far?
It's a couple hours hike, maybe. It's not
We could still
actually
rent
too bad.
horses if you wanted,
You
but
could.
Yeah, I expect so. I want to be fresh when we get there, in case we have to, fight any goblins. How much does a horse rental cost?
A horse rental. Let's see.
Since Fancy Pants Foxglove paid for them last time.
Yes, he did. Horses.
Damn,
So, chemical
dandy.
gear, services. Animals. A riding horse is 1 silver per day, or 8 gold to just buy one outright.
1 silver sounds fine. We can pay for like,
2 or 3 days.
a couple of days just in case we are out.
Do they have any
they'll
ingressions?
typically require some kind of deposit amount. But you can go check the stables, and 1 silver per day. How long do you expect to be gone?
Call it 2-3 days maximum.
Say far, just in case.
Yeah.
Don't know how long
Okay.
we'll be in looking around, but just in case.
They will require just 1 gold as a deposit, and you get your deposit back and then pay at the end.
Sounds good.
So you are taking the horses out
Mhm.
into the woods, into goblin territory.
Is there one Greshy size?
Yeah, they have riding ponies. Those are, I think, about the same price. I was just
That would be fine. I'm just making sure that he can actually, ride it without needing Asher
Oh
to
yeah,
pick him
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah, they have horses of the same, of like slightly smaller sizes. Yes.
All right. Greshy's just gonna buy his. If they're willing to sell it to him, he'll just pay for it outright.
Yeah, they'll let you buy one for 8 gold.
Is it 8 gold
8 gold.
or 8 gold? All right.
Yes. Is 8 gold to purchase, 1 silver per day to rent.
Sure.
But if you want to rent it, then they ask for a 1 gold deposit.
I will pay the 80 silver, since I'm mostly carrying silver right now, for a riding horse.
Normally they'd ask for more on a deposit, but the person recognizes you as the heroes of Sandpoint, so he is willing to assume that you guys will bring the horses back.
It's a reasonable assumption, but I'm just going to be on the safe side. Does it come with a saddle, or do I need to purchase that separately?
No, it's got a saddle and everything already
Excellent.
on it.
All right, I will just buy some food for it.
Okay, a little dialogue box shows up with what are you going to name the horse?
It's a good question. Let's the strong part of me that wants to name it Epona, but we're gonna name it Kapal.
Kapal. Okay.
Kapall.
And it's a standard sort of tawny brown-ish horse with a couple of...
Just Epona backwards, but that means that becomes a nope.
Nope. Which could be funny too.
Yeah, so kind of a light brownish horse with a couple of black splotches here and there on the fur, and a dark black mane.
Excellent.
Okay. And are either of the other two buying a horse, or are you just renting?
I'm
Renting
just
for now.
rent.
Okay.
Rent.
So you each pay the 1 gold deposit.
Yeah.
Among other
You
things,
all have horses.
at level 3, I'm going to have to make a choice between Blade, Shield, and Steed Ally.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which path I'm going down.
I also have a question before we head out.
Yep.
That may require some extra time. I want to look. I don't know where I'd find this, if I'd find it from Brodert or if there's a library, but a book on demonic rituals performed on people.
Sure. You're interested in demonic ritual lore. It's not the sort of thing that Brodert would have, but you could go check the local library.
I'm sure they'll have plenty of copies.
I would
Worth
love
asking
to
about.
do that. See if I can find something to
Sounds like
read along the
a
way.
totally safe book that they would definitely have.
I assume it would be, instead of like how to do it, more like the history
Yeah.
of
Hmm.
these types of things happening.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I assumed that you were talking about.
Kind of like a history of bombs and not how to make at home
Right.
kit.
I don't think that they have a proper library. Let's see. Nope, you are actually lucky. There is, it being Friday, or Fire Day, there is currently, the Sandpoint Market is currently filled with various vendors setting up for the weekend. And
Excellent.
one of them does happen to be a book vendor.
I will go to them and see if they have this book or a book like it.
Okay, so you're just looking for a book on demonic rituals?
Yeah.
So you peruse this person's wares. They appear to be it's an elven man in sort of basic scholarly looking robes. He's got just a big cart of various books on all sorts of different topics. You peruse the shelves, taking a look at various things, ask him about books on demonic rituals or demonic lore or history. And he thinks for a moment and goes over to his catalog and checks a few things and leads you over to a section and points out a book in particular that might be useful. It's a study of cults and cult-like behavior, and has a number of instances of demonic rituals being performed, or studies on various rituals that are known to be performed by various cults.
Cool. Is that the only book? It's just cool.
Yeah, that's the only book that he's got that's really relevant to the subject.
Okay, I will take it.
That'll be 2 silver, please.
I give him 2 silver.
Ah, thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, you now have a book on cults and demonic rituals.
Yay, time to do some light reading while on a horse.
Okay.
Too hard? Hopefully.
What else would you guys like to do?
The one thing that I was going to say is probably would have been done yesterday. We were already planning to do it. Is when we're selling stuff, we can pick up some pickaxes. Maybe
That's right, to clear out the
pickaxe
lower
or
level.
shovel.
Do we want to bother with that now, or do we want to do that when we get back?
Might be useful to bring with us. So you never know. And we've got horses. We can just leave them in the, packs.
That's fair. Sure.
Okay.
Then we'll just,
we'll say that you guys do some various shopping, and we can sort of sort the rest of that offline. Is there anything else you want to do before heading out of town?
Nope. Ready to get the heck out of here.
I will buy 1 more jar
Okay. 1 more jar.
to replace my old jar. And
Okay.
that's all I think I want to do.
And we can just go through any additional purchases or whatever just off screen and
All right.
recap that once
Okay.
at the start of the next session. But in any case, so with all of your things packed and loaded up into your bags, you make your way over to the stables, get your horses ready, and go riding off into the morning mist.
Fabulous.
And I suppose that's it for the session.
And they were never seen again.
Uh-oh.
And they were never seen again.
As you
Game
as you
over.
wish.
GG.
I was too busy reading my book and rode my horse off a cliff.
We could ride a little farther today if you want, but is this our normal stop time, or are we stopping a little?
This
No,
is
this
about
is
right.
normalish start time. The last couple have been a little long running.
Long side? Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll dial it back in.
Yeah, at least
All right.
when it's reasonable. I don't want to like get
That's
into full set of stuff with the goblin encounters at the moment. So it's good
Fair
as a
enough.
place as any to start to end the session. We can sort of talk about shopping and stuff offline. But anyway,
Yeah, that makes sense.
that's it for the day, my friends. This is Third Action again, every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Pacific-ish time on twitch.tv/Third Action. The shades are back on, fuck.
Of course. Gotta be hip
yeah,
and
you
cool
can...
and all that.
You can hit us up on the YouTube. You can hit us up on the Twitter at Third Action Show. We're on the Facebook, thirdactionshow@gmail.com, I'm pretty sure. If you want to email us for some weird reason, that's cool. Give us a follow on Twitch. That's really useful and handy. That's basically it. Hit the bell ring to punch these sunglasses off of Will's face.
They're never coming off. Every episode.
Yay.
All right. Good night, everyone. GG.
Good night.